Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Live with Heather Vickery. I am your host, Heather Vickery. Surprise, surprise. Wouldn't it be fun someday if, like, it was Welcome to Live with Heather Vickery? I'm your host, Katie Kastner. Like, Katie's my pal. She's on Substack. Or somebody else. Should I have somebody else host my live show in my absence? Like, if I go on vacation? Anyway, I am rambling today. Uh, uh, all of it's catching up with me today. I don't spend a lot of time and space and energy in I in the heavy, usually. That's not my MO. I'm a joy warrior. I embrace fear, step out of fear and into bravery. I help people learn to lead with embodied joy, and I do that by practicing it on myself, but sometimes it all just gets too heavy, and this is one of those weeks for me, and I know it has been for many, many, many of you as well. So for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Heather. I'm a transformation coach. What does that mean? It means that I help you go from where you are to where you want to be by learning to deeply and completely know, like, and trust yourself, and then unwrite all of the bullshit stories that are patterned onto you, that have told you who and how and what you're supposed to be and what life is supposed to look like and feel like and what success is, so that you can live a life that you are in love with, that you can be happy with who you are in the world, and you can learn to lead from embodied joy. Because I know for sure that when we show up from a place where joy is our set point, we show up differently, we engage differently, and we get better responses. And this is a revolutionary approach because this is not the way the world is built. We have been told for eternity that we have to work really hard for it, that if you don't sacrifice it, you know, there's no reward, that you have to earn your value, your keep, your worth, your joy, your happiness, your peace. You don't. You don't have to earn those things. You were born worthy of those things. We have to reshift the entire fucking narrative. We have to change all of it so that we can show up from a place of knowing our value, of taking up our space, of stepping in our power, of choosing joy, of choosing peace, and knowing that joy is a form of resistance and protecting your peace is a form of resistance, and choosing to be happy even when there's a lot of shit going on, finding the things that work for you. And I don't feel a lot of happy today. So it always shows up for me that I come into the show, I'm very honest. I am the kind of coach that shows you that I am also a human being, just like you. And not every day is going to feel great. Not every day is going to feel great. You're not going to follow all of the wonderful paths and rituals that you have. Like, I love to ground myself. I do 5 minutes of Chinese exercises. I go for walks. I do all these things. I don't always do them. And when I don't do them, then I kind of don't feel great. But also, we're going to fall off. We're going to fall off sometimes. And then we have the tools and the resources we need to come back. That's what I hope to give you. That's what I hope to help you all settle into. And I show up here every Thursday with a different way that you can do that, or that you can show up for yourself bravely, choose yourself bravely, lead with love, lead with joy, and also so that we can do this work, so that we can be part of a collective that is raising the energetic vibration. We can be better for ourselves and for one another, and we can be part of changing the world. Hey, Chris, how are you, my love? It all feels like a lot this week. This week is intense, man. I mean, every week is intense, and it feels like it couldn't get worse, and then somehow every week it does, and I get it. Okay, and we still have to do the thing. And also, you can bitch with me. So, I do open office hours every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central. You're welcome to join me anytime for any reason. We can talk about anything you'd like. We can talk about human design. We can talk about subconscious reprogramming, hypnotherapy, and NLP, all that cool stuff. Um, we can talk about the state of the world. We can talk about books. I just finished my 110th book of the year. I have definitely identified that reading is a way for me to disassociate from all of the, because if I'm not reading, then I'm probably scrolling, and that's not healthy for me. And we've canceled a bunch of our streaming channels because I refuse to be the type of white liberal woman who talks and talks and talks, but doesn't do anything if it makes me uncomfortable or if it takes away my creature comforts. refuse. I refuse. I will not do that. So I read a lot. But I also love to be in community and I love to connect with people and support. I host, if you're in the Chicagoland area, and I know Katie is, Katie's here. Hi, my love. I host a networking breakfast called the Chicago Empower Breakfast the second Friday of every month. We have a great time. It is a beautiful space of support and connection and high vibe energy in all the right ways, right? Come and join us at the Chicago Empower Breakfast. I do office hours on Tuesdays. Hosting a retreat in Costa Rica in January of 2026. If you're looking for a big getaway, it's not a vacation, it is a retreat. It is a wellness retreat. Chris Davis is coming. Who else is going to come with us? Natasha, are you going to come? Natasha, how do I get you to Costa Rica, my love? This is a space for us to breathe and rest and be cared for and be nurtured by other people because we are always caring and giving and nurturing other people. And when is it our turn? It is a space to slow down so you can hear your inner truth and your inner voice, follow your own path, protect your peace, build more of a foundation of joy, know yourself better, trust yourself better, love yourself better. Hey, Margaret, how are you, my love? Um, I don't normally give all of this up front. I want to get to the topic, and I like today's topic, but I just didn't wake up in a great mindset today. So I'm having to do this work. And I want you all to know that that is okay, that some days we aren't going to feel like the best versions of ourselves. Although I don't know what that version of me isn't completely horrified by what's happening in the country right now. The best version of me is fucking horrified. The best version of me is outraged and filled with anger and rage that I want to then turn into something productive. And the best way that I can do that is by helping each and every one of us, me, you, all of us, learn to lead from that embodied joy, learn to care for ourselves and trust ourselves and build together the world that we most desire living in. So today's topic is it's about releasing instead of resisting. The title that I gave it on my post, my blog post, and my newsletter was "The Path of Least Resistance Often Holds the Most Power." And I called it something different on TikTok, and I called it something different here on Substack, just to kind of see what got people's attention. But the truth is, I'm not talking about political resistance. Be politically resistant. I go out there. We are talking about internal work. When I talk about all of this, it is internal self care, self love, self growth, self expansion work. So I am part of the political resistance. And I am not afraid to say that on my iPhone, even though Tim Cook was at the White House earlier this week. I am not afraid to say that on social media platforms. I am part of the resistance. Come after me if you want to. Okay. That aside, we are talking about how to love yourself, how to ground yourself, how to protect yourself, how to care for yourself, how to comfort yourself, how to lead from embodied joy so that we can go out and change the world. And the truth of the matter is, the path of least resistance often holds the most power. And I did not always believe that. And I'm guessing many of you in the audience are the same way, where you used to think that you had to push, 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 prove yourself, have the last word, stick your feet in a stand and be really strong and stubborn. And that, my loves, does not work. Hey, Meredith, how are you? It's good to see you. Right? So some of the greatest gifts I've ever given myself is not having to argue with things that don't I can't change what's happening. Um, Having an argument with my ex or even with my kids, I'm like being able to go, yeah, okay, you think that, you feel that, cool. You do you. I'm gonna walk away, right? That's the path of least resistance. That's surrendering because does it really matter in the long run? Um, does it need a response? Is whatever is happening, does it need a response from you? If giving a response is going to create shift or change in a direction you like, then that's great. And if it's not, when can you walk away? But I learned that this resistance was like an energy vampire, was taking so much from me to always need to be right, to always prove myself, to always push back when someone questioned me or disrespected me or did, whatever. It wasn't necessary, and it was such a gift of internal freedom to let it go because we have been conditioned to think that ease ease equals laziness. Let's take that apart. Ease. I am not going to allow myself to get worked up by your bullshit. Ease. I'm not going to engage in something that's fruitless. Ease. I'm going to walk away if this doesn't feel good to me. I'm going to set boundaries. Ease. Right? Lean in to ease because the path of least resistance isn't giving up. It's knowing what is worth putting your energy towards and what isn't. We cannot be worked up and outraged about everything in every capacity all the time, or we will explode. And right now, especially, I know for so many of us, and certainly for me, we feel like we're in the middle of a pressure cooker. I literally constantly feel my whole body being pushed on by all of the things that are happening and the collective energy and have to do all of the things in my power to ground and center myself. And today I've done a lot of screaming at the void, talking to friends and getting really frantic and angry. And that's okay because I knew I needed to release it. I needed to let it out, which was a good thing because now I'm exercising all of that, feel it to heal it. And I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon nurturing myself, regrounding myself, recentering myself, taking that path of least resistance. Resistance shows up in so many ways, and most of us don't even notice that it's happening. It hides in plain sight and it sticks around a really, really long time. But believing that your power lies in having the last word or being right or pushing back, forcing yourself to push through when it's not aligned for you, even when your body is telling you in every possible way to take a different path, it doesn't support you. So the reframe that I want you to embrace right now is that power isn't fighting every battle. There's power in discernment. What is worth your time and your energy? And if it's not, let it go. Walk away from it. So these are the tools of flow, right? I learn a lot about this in human design. I help people with their custom human design. Uh, my friend Meredith is here. Meredith and I did some human design work together. So this is knowing yourself and also through human design, figuring out how you best solve problems, how you best engage with the world, how you best show up. So if you don't already have your human design chart, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my website, find the link wherever you are watching this and pull your free human design chart. And then if you have questions, we can talk about it later. But human design is a modern scientific self discovery system based on several different ancient sciences and philosophies. It is all about expanding. There's nothing to change or fix in your human design because it is who you are and how you are designed to be in the world, experience the world, what your natural karmic gifts and strengths are for the world. And it is such a beautiful thing. It's such a freedom technique then you can know like, "Ooh, I'm gonna let that flow," right? Instead of forcing it, I'm gonna let that flow, and you have a better understanding of what things need to flow. Um, my Brave method is a really great resource. So I wrote my book about Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap. The Brave method is a creative, strategic approach to problem solving, dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life that you love. And Brave is an acronym. And we'll start with the E because the E is your result, expansion and empowerment. And I want to remind you that no one can do that for you. No one can expand you and no one can empower you except you. You are the only person that can do that. And when you show up for yourself, when you take the time for yourself, when you protect your peace, when you lead with joy, when you say yes to the right things and no to the right things, and when you set boundaries and when you take up the space and you feel that you're worthy, then you are expanding and empowering yourself. So I'll go back. The B stands for boundaries. Boundaries are limits that define acceptable behavior, and you get to decide what's acceptable for you. R is the 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, resilience. Nothing changes without awareness. Nothing. And awareness is a powerful tool because once we're aware, we only have two choices. We either do something about it or we willfully ignore it and we feel shitty about it. So awareness leads to reframing, reassessing, like what happened. Let's look at what happened. What happened around you? Who do I want to be? What did I learn? How do I want to behave? What do I want to do next? What are your lessons from it? Right. And then resiliency is getting up and doing it again differently. Resiliency is the number one key indicator into whether or not a person will be successful. It's really powerful stuff, right? It's not skill. And of course, we don't want to do things over and over when we know that they don't bring the result we want. So, how do you shift it? How do you change it? What do you do instead? How do you invite new opportunities? How do you take off the blinders and see what the possibilities are? Yeah, you could go this way, but could you also go this way? And yeah, maybe this thing is true, but is it the only thing that's true? Are there other things that could be true? Right? VRAV is vulnerability. It matters. If we come in here and we act like we are fireproof and bulletproof, if we come into the world and we act like we have all the answers and we're not our honest, authentic selves, everyone can tell. We can all smell bullshit. You know those people, right? You know those people. You're like, ooh, something about that person sets me all the way off, right? I don't like that. You know, we can tell. Vulnerability and authenticity are powerful. Authenticity has been proven to be the highest energetic vibrational um, thing, emotion out there, feeling out there. Authenticity, being yourself, has more power than anything else does. Wild. And then we've got action, action and accountability. None of it works unless you work, right? It's one thing to think about it. Mindset is important, but then you got to get into action. And some of the ways that I always drop every week. If you read my either my Substack post or my blog post, you'll see there's some sort of action oriented thing, some action you can take, a reframing question, a journaling question, something that you can do. But whether you're listening to subliminal audios, and I have a whole catalog of human design focused subliminal audios. I also have 5 other subliminal audios specifically on my website you can purchase and use, and they're great because you can just, I know Katie has one if Katie's still here. You can just pop them on in the background and let them work while you're doing other things. Subconscious reprogramming, sometimes this work gets to be easy. Sometimes it gets to be easy, and it's not always easy. This can be really challenging work, transformation work. It's really challenging work. And it can't be hard all the time. We can't do that to ourselves all the time. Sometimes we need a break, right? Okay, so then forcing versus flow. I know when I'm forcing, and I'll bet you do too, because your body feels off. Everything feels tense. Your brain is maybe fuzzy. If you're forcing, you can tell. But if you don't already know, if you don't instantly and automatically know what your physical signs are that you're forcing something, I invite you to really pay attention to your physical sensations so that you know. For me, my body is heavy, my focus is scattered. Simplest actions feel like a fight. I'm pushing against myself all the time. But when I'm in flow, things work. There's a sense of clarity, even if they're things I don't necessarily want to do. But that's going to feel that feeling of forced versus flow is maybe different for each and every one of us. So it's something I invite you to find out for yourself. My body might feel tired when I'm in flow, but I don't feel drained. It feels guided. It feels directional. It feels purposeful. And so I have a journal prompt for you all today and also an embodied practice, something that you can just take with you. So the journal prompt is this: where in your life are you still fighting battles that you know do not serve you? And then I want you to ask yourself, would a response here make things better? Or would my peace be better served by disengaging? If I get involved in this, you can't hear me on Substack, but you could hear me before. I don't understand what's happening. You can't hear me at all, Meredith, but you could before. I don't know what to do. You can hear me. Eric can hear me. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate you guys. I was like, that's weird. Because I know you could hear me before, Meredith, because you engaged Margaret. Margaret's been so sweet. She's been telling me that my sound wasn't working the last 2 weeks. So see, I'm really stressed about it now. I want to make sure it works. Okay, guys. Sorry. So your journal prompt. Where would it better serve you to just step away for a second? Where would it serve you to not have the final word, to not engage, to just go, okay, walk away, protect your peace, right? Don't force. And then the embodied practice that I'm inviting you to share is to notice what, and I already said this, notice what force feels like in your body versus what flow feels like. The next time you catch yourself resisting, I want you to pause, place your hand on your heart. You can do one or both. I tend to do it like this, but you can do both. Take 3 slow breaths and ask yourself, what would bring me peace in this very moment? And then take action from that place. Remember that awareness is power, but you can't be aware if you don't pause and reflect and check in with yourself and ask yourself those questions and get to know yourself really well. You can't be aware if you don't do that. Let's pull a create brave card. These are deck of manifestation cards I co-created with my friend Rachel Swanson. You guys want to get a set? They're super awesome. Chris has them. I know she loves them. She sends me pictures sometimes of her using them, and that makes me happy. Remember that manifestation isn't a thing that you declare and it magically shows up in the world. Manifestation is declaring something and then shifting the way you show up in the world to make it happen. And these cards are so much fun. Um, so let's see. Oh, there it is. What today's message is for us, y'all. Where is it? This one. Okay. There we go. Alignment. The pieces of my life play in harmony, alignment. That's what we're talking about here, right? Resistance holds power. Sometimes surrendering is the most powerful thing that you can do. Walking away, protecting your peace. It's a form of resistance. That's alignment. That's how we align ourselves. The pieces of my life play in harmony. Um, we don't always know what those things are unless we take the time to do that reflective piece from the Brave method. Reassess, reframe, get up and do it again differently, resilience. So that's what I've got for you all today. I am going to go take care of myself. I'm going to do some EFT tapping, a little short EFT tapping meditation. I can feel that that's going to really help me. I am going to do some subliminal audios. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to go for a walk. And then I'm going to go to Heal, which is this new thing in my neighborhood that's contrast therapy. We've got cold plunge and then infrared red light infrared sauna. And that's going to be great. So I hope you're taking care of yourself today. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You're invited to join me on Tuesdays. Ask me anything office hours. You can find the registration link on any of my bios. It's totally free, but you have to register to get the link because it's not a link that I share with the public. If I can support you in any way, if you would like to join the Spark Collective, which is my $18 a month membership to help you grow into your intuition more and have accountability, support, and reflection every week, you can find a link in my bio. If you want to do some subconscious reprogramming, a shift session, or more than that, again, all of the links are in my bio. I would love to support you. And if you want to go big, join me in Costa Rica in January of 2026. We will be at the MLO Institute in the middle of the jungle, anti-inflammatory, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free food that is the most delicious food I've ever had. We'll be doing indigenous practitioners for things like a blue clay ceremony, cacao ceremony, breath work. I'll be guiding people through somatic movement. We'll do some wonderful subconscious reprogramming together, lots of space for expansion, self-reflection, all of that. We have a few spots left. It actually truly legitimately is starting to sell out. I am so excited to be able to say that because I've been selling this for 2 years. And it was a really big commitment for me to take on, but we are close to selling out. There is a little space left. If you would like to join me in Costa Rica, let me know. We can chat about it. I can answer all your questions. And I'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Life with Heather Vickery and ways that you can show up for yourself, embody more joy, and have a life that you love no matter what's happening around you. My name is Heather Vickery. I'm reminding you today and every single day to go out and choose yourself bravely because you are worthy of that. Sending you so much love. Take care of yourself, okay? Bye now. I'm trying to turn it off, you guys. It's not working. I don't know. Might not have even been working on LinkedIn and Substack or LinkedIn and YouTube anyway. But we're good. We're here. We're here on Substack. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for dealing with my sound stuff. We're here on TikTok, Chris and and Tasha, and you guys are amazing. I appreciate you. Thanks to everyone who joined. Um, you guys make it easier to show up and do this every week, even when I have a day like today where it didn't feel great. It's nice to know that it's landing with people and it's making a difference. and you help me as much as I help you. So take care. Bye now.